Hello, welcome. I'm Pratap Singh. You're joining us on NewsX. Thailand has announced a national emergency after 7.7 magnitude earthquake with its epicenter in Myanmar rocked Bangkok as well. 3 workers have been killed when an under-construction 30-story building collapsed in Bangkok during the earthquake. Thailand's Deputy Prime Minister, Phumtham Wechayachai, has further said that at least 81 people were trapped inside the rubble of the fallen building. Thailand's capital has been declared a disaster area following the strong earthquake. The Bangkok governor has been placed in charge of coordinating the disaster response. As the earthquake was felt in Bangkok, people rushed to the streets as buildings swayed and water from swimming pools and high-rises was seen falling to the ground. Bangkok's National Institute for Emergency Medicine said that at least 43 people were trapped in the building's rubble. Thot Limsotsai is joining us live from Bangkok in Thailand. He's a journalist from Spring News. Thank you very much for speaking with us. Take us through your experience today, what you felt when this earthquake struck.
Okay, good evening and nice to see you now. I'm Todd. Now I'm in Bangkok. The recent earthquake is happened in Myanmar, but its very major impact on Thailand was the strongest we have seen in decades. Yes, even though the epicenter was far from Bangkok, but the Bangkok is on the soft soil, made the tremors feel much more intense. Yes.
Yes, and after that, what have you seen as you've probably been reporting on ground after this earthquake? Have you seen damage to property yourself? Have you seen any people who were injured or have lost their lives?
The biggest damage in Bangkok now is was the collapse of the nearly completed 30-story building was the 2 billion baht. It come down so quickly that dozens of workers are trapped inside, and now there's on the rescue process. And I think it's almost 70 people is still trapped in that building, but the interesting is that building is built for that building is built for the new headquarters for the office of the Auditor General, that the agency responsible for monitoring how the public funds are used, and have built for 5 years, and it's a new building, but it's the one that cracked down, and the older building nearly is not much damage as this new building.
Hello. Yes, absolutely. Thot Limsotsai, also I'd like to ask you about, the official number. What is the official figure that the government has put out? How many casualties so far? How many deaths which have been reported? Also, how many people injured?
There is now there's not completely finished for rescue. The workers that stuck inside.
Has the rescue commenced there? Is the rescue underway?
Yes. It's rescue on the way, because it's a very big building for 30 floors. 30 floors, and they fall down all of that 100% damage. And they said that in that time they have workers inside for 70 people inside.
So the casualty figure right now is 3. But as you're saying, that number could rise.
Now almost 7.
7.
Is the
7 people fear death.
Death now.
7 deaths is what you're telling us, your government is telling you. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Are there aftershocks feared? Is there an alert right now?
Yes. It's have a aftershock from 4 or 5 magnitude, but it's okay for living. But now in Bangkok, there's the chaos because the government shut down all the train. The workers, office workers, cannot go home. Many of people have to sleep in hotel this night because the traffic very bad. there's no taxi, there's no bus, and the train is the main public transport is have shut down all the train.
So there's a state of chaos in Bangkok is what you're telling us because of course, the transport that has been affected
Yes.
because of this. Thought Limsodai, as far as, of course, the tremors were concerned, did you feel two of them? Were two of them very severe? And were you inside for the first and outdoor for the second, or were you indoor for both of them?
I am indoor. I am indoor at the first wave in the sixth floor, and I feel very strong of the earthquake. And at first I think that I have sick or something with my health, but it's very long time. I think 3 or 5 minutes that shake me on the sixth floor, and I go to outside and have many people go to downstairs. So
Yes.
I ask them that is earthquake, but I think this is the most biggest earthquake haven't seen in Thailand or in
Okay.
Bangkok.
And now, has Bangkok seen the brunt of the quake, or other parts of Thailand also affected?
Many parts of Thailand feel the earthquake from the northern Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, and
But
and
where is the damage
Kanchanaburi.
most severe? Where is the damage most severe?
Now the most damage is in Bangkok.
Okay.
In that building, only one building is the very dangerous. Yeah.
Okay. Thought Limsod Sai, thank you very much for joining us on NewsX
Thank
and
you.
speaking to us with your perspective and your eyewitness account of what happened. Let me also join Thancha Boran Chantra. She's joining us live from Bangkok as well. Thank you for being with us today, Thancha Boran. What did you feel today? What did you experience?
Well, actually, I went to work at the Queen Sirikit National Center for some event. There is 2 events right there. That was a book fair, the National Book Fair, and the other one is the Thailand Tourism Fair, which is a very renowned. That 2 kind of event is very renowned and gain a lot of tourists. I mean, gain a lot of people come to that place. So at that time in the morning, I went to work very smoothly, went very well. And after that, for maybe could be 2 or 3 hours after, everything is suddenly, I mean, completely chaos, as Kunto said that, because we can feel at that time, we can feel a little bit dizzy at that time, feeling unwell, of course. And finally, I decided to going out with my colleague, and then I think it's because of at the big hall we have they have a lot of construction and decoration even in the upper level, and also the how can I say, the lower part of the building. So I think we're supposed to escape from the big hall as soon as we can, and then we decided to leave from the building outside of the park, outside of the building. That was the Benja Sirikit Park, which is kind of the very huge kind of park. And at that time, I can say that a massive of people living from the building, and we are waiting. I mean, we're focusing that we cannot like leaving or escaping for another places because it's still completely locked down and shut down. The government, as you could say, that they are completely shut down and cannot allow every people get back to the public transportation in terms of the kind of a safe caution at that time. Yeah. And about the damage thing at the event, I mean, at the place that I'm staying at that time in the morning, there is no kind of like damages at that time. And still, it's just about the, how can I say, the chaos thing that we met at that time. Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you, Thancha Bonchantra, what have you seen around you? Have you seen, damage to property yourself? Have you heard? Have you seen people injured yourself and lost to life?
No, No, luckily, it's just only the people that feeling unwell.
Yes.
Excuse me. I will get back to you.
Thanchabon? Okay, I think we've lost Thanchabon there. Oh, yes, Thanchabon is back with us. Yes, please go
Yeah.
ahead.
Well, I think at that time it's just only the people can feel unwell. Just need an inhaler for Thai people. We need an inhaler at that time. We need something of fresh air. We need some cold. We need some kind of a space, a big space for breathing properly at that time. So there is no dangerous. There is no damage, injured. No, there is no
There is
nothing.
mental damage, as you're telling. More
No.
mental damage than physical damage.
Mental damage, yeah. We have only the mental damage at that time at the maybe 1 or 2 p.m. Yes.
Are you scared for what could happen after? Are you scared
I
for more aftershocks? Is this going to be a
I
frightening night for people in Bangkok?
Yeah, of course. After the earthquake, I feel certainly I feel scared. But for tonight, we keep updating on the news, of course, from the government, from the national media agency, and also we try our best to grab everything importantly. Yeah, like as close as I can, as much as I can. Yeah, for prepare things like properly. Yeah.
Is commuter an issue in Bangkok? Are people not being able to commute because of the traffic jams and the trains being shut down?
Yeah, luckily at that time, around approximately 3 p.m., a Thai guys, very nice for me. I got the motorcycle, get back from the inner city of Bangkok, which is the planted area, get back to my place and another side of Bangkok. It's outside of Bangkok. Luckily, I got that motorcycle rider. And yeah, not only him, another Thai people, we have that kind of generous, like kind of moment to sharing to each other, asking for helping. And for me, I think it's still be very well, how can I say, communicating and encouraging the people to get back home safely as much as they can. But some people at Kuntur said that they still struggle on the road and cannot get arrived yet to home. Yeah.
Okay. Thanjaborn Chantra, thank you very much for joining us with your perspective on this story and sharing what you experienced. Ambassador Suresh Kumar Goyal, former diplomat, also with us. Ambassador Goyal, this is the worrying aspect that perhaps the full extent is still not available to us. We've got a lot of information from Bangkok, but what has happened in Myanmar is still, it is an evolving story. It is a developing story, particularly Mandalay, where we're learning that the damage is very severe.
It's not just, in fact, it's not just Myanmar and Thailand, even though the epicenter was in Myanmar. But the earthquake seems to have affected Thailand, Myanmar, Laos, the northeast of India, Bangladesh also to some extent. And therefore, the reach of this earthquake has been actually beyond all expectations. Number one. Number two, this is the first time that I'm seeing such a huge earthquake in the region. I have been there for 4 years in different capacities. At no time was there any kind of an assessment that the region is earthquake prone or there could be such large earthquakes there. So it's rather worrying and clearly establishes the link between climate change and the frequency of the earthquakes, and therefore need to be prepared. It will take some time to come to grips with the consequences and the after effects. And I think the first thing that we need to do really is to assess the situation for the BIMSTEC meeting, which was actually scheduled on 3rd or 4th of April. So it will most likely be postponed, whatever it is. But I think one important thing I would mention here, and that's the last point I want to mention, that India is seen as the lead provider of disaster relief and disaster management. In fact, even in Quad, that's a main role that we are keen to play. And therefore, I think India should begin to look at what kind of assistance and what kind of support it can provide in the rescue operations, relief operations, and the rehabilitation to follow afterwards. Uday.
Okay, let me in fact quickly take that to Surinder Singh Lali, Foreign Affairs expert as well. Surinder Singh Lali, do you believe disaster management protocols were followed? Were all the SOPs followed? Were people sensitized enough? What has led to this huge extent of damage? Is it just the severity of the quake, or is there, was there, not enough precautions taken as far as earthquake resistance material used, SOPs followed at construction sites and whatnot?
Uday, at the risk of not generalizing, but I'm still going to do that. But you see, in the eastern part of the world, we do have a very poor record of following the standard operating procedures. You look at any building, for that matter, how many times do we do a fire drill? And since I've lived in the US and I've lived in India, so we've had a poor record on, we always, when we get to the bridge, then we cross it and then we deal with it. And Uday, I have a friend who just landed in Bangkok a few hours ago, and he's stuck at the airport. And he says that it's obviously, for obvious reasons, it's an absolute madhouse. There is no taxis available. There are no hotels available. I mean, even, the coffee shops have run out of everything. So he might have to spend his night at the airport. Uday, yeah, one of the biggest disasters that has been the CAG building. Unfortunately, it could not have been a worse timing for that building, because maybe that building was at a very vulnerable stage. There were 400 people working in there, and it had a big lift mounted on top of it. So, the initial figure was 43, 70, and now 81 people are missing. And before I came to the program, it was 3 bodies recovered. But I learned through this program, I think there are 7 or 8 now. And Uday, the other problem which I see now is that if and when it is, the earthquake is more than 6.4 and it happens to be in a coastal area, then the tsunami warnings also trigger in. So that is also something we might want to keep our fingers crossed on. And as Ambassador Goel rightly said, that at 4:40 IST on BBC, I heard them saying that the Indian Prime Minister has officially come on record and offered help. Well, there one point which I haven't heard in any of the debates, and for some reason I want to park it in your debate, is that, more than the natural reasons, the Three Gorges Dam, which is a major engineering feat in China, has been linked to an increase in seismic activity and landslides in the region due to the impoundment of its reservoir, which has altered the geographical stress and pore pressure points in the area. Now, how does it work? The weight of the water in the large reservoir behind the dam increases the pressure on the surrounding rocks. This can lead to changes in the stress and pore pressures within the Earth's crust, potentially triggering an earthquake. A Chinese study by 2010 by the China Earthquake Administration found that the Three Gorges Dam has triggered about 3,400 earthquakes from mid-2003 to 2009. So I'm not trying to spin in another controversial theory here, but I think, this is something that, we might also want to look into beyond the natural reasons for it. Okay?
Okay, let me take that to Sanjay Kumar, former DG NDRF as well. Sanjay Kumar, the worry, of course, particularly in Bangkok, is that this under construction building collapse could lead to more casualties. Almost 70 to 80 workers trapped there. How complicated is the rescue and relief going to be currently? Sanjay Kumar, can you hear me? Okay, I don't think we have Sanjay Kumar, unfortunately. Let me go back across to Ambassador Goel. Ambassador Goel, now what we're hearing, of course, is that the Myanmarese junta has asked for humanitarian assistance and help. They've asked for aid. That is, of course, a big development as well. Do you believe that's something that the world now will begin to take cognizance of?
Absolutely, there is no doubt about it whatsoever. My own assessment is that it is a major disaster, major natural disaster in that region. The extent is unimaginable in terms of covering not just one country. And I think Mr. Lali Singh mentioned about the possibility of tsunami warning. It has not happened as yet because the epicenter was not near the coastal area. But one has to keep eyes and ears open for the further consequences. Therefore, I have no doubt in my mind that very soon there will be international appeals for assistance, etc., etc. But the point really is that the immediate we consider East. We consider East as our immediate neighborhood. And in Quad, and in East Asia, Southeast Asia, India is considered to be an important country by the way of relief provider, disaster relief provider. So I think even without waiting for any international appeal, and Prime Minister Modi has already given the assurance of all possible help, I think we should start to work on really mobilizing, as we know how we did in the case of Maldives, in the case of Sri Lanka, in the case of Bangladesh. I think it's important that we should begin to mobilize our disaster relief and rescue efforts and access Myanmar, Thailand, and Bangladesh without worrying about the relations at the present. But we should begin to access them and reassure them all of our best efforts.
Surinder Singh Lali, is that something that you believe there is going to be a state of alert in Thailand and Myanmar for possible more aftershocks, even as you said, God forbid, a tsunami?
This could be beyond my pay grade in brief, but I don't think we can take any more chances, because the way things have been panning out lately, I think, yes, it'll be part of their brief to further, in any manner, try and hedge it, because I don't think we can afford to take any more risk, and especially Thailand has not been prone to all of this. So, the next billion-dollar question would be, how much can those buildings take? It's not like Japan, where they're prepared and they do these protocol exercises and, they pretty much live, in an advanced manner. So yes, given those circumstances, I saw on news that people were saying that since they were not prepared, and the first reaction was they started feeling nauseatic about it. Because
Yes.
they have never felt something like this. A swirl pool on the ground floor was half empty. That ought to give you an idea on how much the intensity was. It wasn't just the infinity pools, but even ground floor. Everything was shaken apart.
Absolutely, that's what some of the eyewitnesses were telling us on this show itself. Sanjay Kumar, are you back with us? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I'm.
Okay, Sanjay Kumar, were you able to hear my question earlier on the rescue and relief on that under construction tragedy?
Yes,
Please go ahead.
Definitely, the task is cut out for the disaster management and the rescue agencies at present. They should they would have started their work right now. Basically, it's the detection of the living being, the detection of the people under debris that is more important at the very beginning, at the outset. The pre-greening of the area affected, identification of the buildings affected, those are important things, and the mobilization of resources. I don't know what kind of SOP is in place there, but then they must be having their disaster forces with all those things equipped, the dog squads, the equipments that are used in the detection of lives under debris, all are being deployed in the process, and then rescue operation takes place. Identification of the priority area, that is also important for the distribution of the area or the building affected as per the strength of the disaster response agencies. The more the difficult portion, the more equipped the team which will take over the job there. Then comes the basically public order maintenance part of that. Part is being done by the police over there. The fire services support in rescue operations. The first responders, of course, would have been replaced by now with the expert teams. And then pre-greening of the area, pre-greening of the corridor for the easy movement of the resources and the forces over there, and setting up of medical teams for the disaster medical responses. All those things are the initial stages that are deployed over there. And the security of the site, as I said, is important. The prevention of crime, the traffic management, and the security of the area being visited by the VIPs and other things. That is also important.
Okay.
And more important is the coordination
Okay.
with the agencies. That is of utmost importance
Right.
for the resources to be mobilized. And
Right. Point taken. My thanks to all of our guests for joining us. We've run completely out of time. We have to slip into a very short break.